August 1914. Europe teetered on the brink. A continent armed and ready for war, a continent blind to the horrors to come. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, had lit the fuse. Now, the powder keg of alliances and rivalries exploded. Germany, a rising power hungry for dominance, unleashed its war machine. The Kaiser's armies marched, their sights set on Paris, their hearts filled with dreams of swift victory. Standing in their path stood the British Expeditionary Force, BEF. Small, professional, and supremely confident, they were the pride of Britain, dispatched to bolster the French lines. Their commander, Sir John French, a veteran of colonial campaigns, carried the weight of history on his shoulders. He knew the BEF was outnumbered, outgunned, but he also knew they were the finest soldiers in the world. The BEF deployed along the Mons-Condé Canal in Belgium, a seemingly peaceful landscape soon to be scarred by war. The men dug in, their rifles sighted towards the east, waiting for the inevitable German onslaught. Rumors of the enemy's advance filtered through the ranks, whispers of grey-clad hordes and monstrous artillery. As the sun dipped low in the sky on August 22, 1914, an eerie silence fell over the British lines. It was the calm before the storm, a brief respite before the world exploded. The Battle of Mons, the first major engagement for the British on the Western Front, was about to begin. The German plan was audacious, a massive flanking maneuver designed to sweep through Belgium and encircle the French armies. They struck the BEF with overwhelming force, wave after wave of German infantry crashing against the British defences. The British, outnumbered but not outmatched, fought with discipline and ferocity. Their rifle fire, honed on distant battlefields, mowed down the advancing Germans. The key to the British defence was the Mons-Condé Canal, a seemingly insignificant waterway that became a line in the sand. The Germans, expecting little resistance, were met with a storm of fire from the well-concealed British positions. Machine guns, the deadly new weapon of war, chattered incessantly, cutting down the attackers in droves. Yet, the German numerical superiority began to tell. Their artillery, vastly superior to the British guns, pounded the BEF lines relentlessly. Shells exploded with terrifying force, tearing apart men and earthworks alike. The British, their casualties mounting, fought on with grim determination, repelling attack after attack. One name that emerged from the chaos was that of Lieutenant Maurice Dees of the Royal Fusiliers. Manning a Vickers machine gun, Dees held his position with extraordinary courage, even after being wounded multiple times. His bravery, later recognized with a posthumous Victoria Cross, embodied the spirit of the BEF at Mons. As the battle raged, stories of incredible bravery and sacrifice began to emerge. One tale, whispered among the weary soldiers, spoke of spectral bowmen appearing from the mists, their arrows halting the German advance. This story, dubbed the Angels of Mons, spread like wildfire, offering solace and hope in the face of overwhelming odds. While the Angels of Mons was a myth, a product of battlefield exhaustion and wishful thinking, it reflected the very real courage displayed by the British soldiers. They fought with a tenacity and discipline that stunned the Germans. Small unit actions, acts of individual heroism, punctuated the larger battle. Private Sidney Godley, a young soldier from the Royal Norfolk Regiment, found himself isolated and surrounded by the enemy. Armed with only his rifle and bayonet, he fought off repeated attacks, killing several Germans before rejoining his unit. His story, one of many, highlighted the raw courage of men facing unimaginable horrors. The ferocity of the British resistance had a profound impact on the Germans. They had expected an easy victory, a walkover against a supposedly inferior foe. Instead, they were met with a wall of lead and cold steel. The Battle of Mons shattered the myth of German invincibility, proving that the Kaiser's army was not invincible.